Hello.
Oh, hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, good
Hi,
afternoon. How you
guys.
doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Hi, guys. Welcome, 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 welcome. We are happy to have you today.
Pleasure is mine.
All right.
The pleasure is mine.
Okay. For those of you joining us today, we have Ido Victor. You're welcome to another session of TOC Skill Monetization series, where we'll be teaching you all about how to turn the skills you already have into money. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. And would like you to show your excitement in the chat box. Just tell Victor that you're happy to have him here, that you're excited for what he has to drop for us today.
Yes.
And I will tell you a little bit more about TOC. TOC is a community that was created or that exists to be able to help young professionals like myself and yourself grow in our personal, our career lives. Our motto is learn, discover, grow, and we're out for knowing new things and being able to share those new things with everybody. We have our newsletters where we send you things daily on Saturday by 5:15. So you should subscribe to that. You can follow us on all our social media at our community. Now, a little more about Victor. Victor Idowu is a professional digital marketer and a website designer. He has worked the major part of his career in freelance services to individuals and clients outside the country. He has helped all kinds of clients, small, medium, large scale, deliver a unique user experience to increase engagement and conversion from their websites visitors. He has worked with over 100 clients from different parts of the world, like the United States of America, Germany, UAE, UK, Australia. His uniqueness is dedicated to his vision of professionalism through hard work, integrity, and time management. During the course of his career, he has had the opportunity to partner with some top leading banks in Nigeria. You can see that we bring you the best of the best. All right, Victor, over to you. Hi, how is your Saturday going? How's your weekend going so far?
Well, thank you first and foremost for bringing me to speak at this wonderful platform, and I appreciate the whole community as a whole. Well, my weekend has been going on fine. I mean, just a wonderful weekend to always look out for. Enjoyed myself a bit before I came around to say, let me sit down, prepare for the meeting. So it's been wonderful.
All right, that is wonderful. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, the career path you're on, how you got there, what you studied in school, your trajectory and your journey so far?
Okay, let me come again. My name is Victor Ido, and I'm a graduate. I finished from Federal University of Technology, Akure. I studied marine science and technology, so that could be funny. What a marine scientist is doing in the tech world. Well, I feel I feel we have a lot of people in that same box right now. So I studied marine science and technology. Maybe I was jammed into that sector, but then after being done with school, the usual 2019 Corona Copper kind we were serving in the country. That was the season where I had that trajectory into tech in the full scale. I had to volunteer for a company called Zackrack, which is a data analytical company. They do training, they do writing on a couple of things in the freelance world. So that's caught my attention to, okay, I think there's something called a freelancing kind, that 2019. So I started all in writing. I mean, write academic papers for people. I do CV writing and all. I mean, those are my few backgrounds that are making me feel money at that period of time. Why? Because I wasn't wanting to go back home to be like every other youth whereby they just eat. I used to create the funny like they eat do about Gary. I came back to school just like a few days after I finished graduate. I was like, no, I need to make ends meet. So that simple decision then was really what started my whole journey. In the course of that, that was when I got to know about digital marketing, website design to be specific. And those were the things in which I do. I mean, I was starting out designing website up until digital marketing was a little bit fully exploited. So that's my little wonderful story. Have I answered
Okay.
the whole question? Okay.
Yeah, you have. And I just want to build on that. As
Okay.
you started digital marketing, as you discovered digital marketing, website design, you said specifically, what has been like a major challenge in that line, or a major learning point that you think everybody that wants to do digital marketing should know about?
Okay. Starting out, the major challenge was around getting ideal clients because I wasn't looking into this field in terms of working for somebody. I entered the niche or space with a freelancer mindset that I want to really source out for my clients, get paid at the end of the day, and all of that. I mean, that also had its own bug of story in the background, because I have made a decision that while I was in school that I don't want to work for anybody. So coming out into a space whereby you have to find your way through was one of the challenging parts, because you don't know anybody, quote and unquote, and you want to really position yourself in this field. It was a little bit challenging at first. So pricing was getting clients was one of the major things. The next that was a little bit challenging was pricing what you sell in terms of marketing. There are quite a lot of people who are in this space, and so if you are not able to position yourself so well, you will just be living on pennies. And the freelance world was actually where I dived into, which is much more into working with people outside the country, not even local clients. So how to best position yourself was a different ball game. Being a Nigerian or being an African, I've had to work with people, and then just conversing on the conversational stage about what I do, and you just say, which country are you from? When they just hear Nigeria, they be like, maybe they're part of those scammers that are coming in to scam them. So they just pick their race, they block you, they do a lot of things. So that's another different ball game entirely. Pricing was another thing that I was talking about. Having to know, how do I put price tag to this service in which I'm doing, knowing fully well there are a lot of people that are doing it. People are undercharging their Indians across the world, who are ready to do anything for as low as $5, $10, and all of that. So what do you want to do to bring you out to be able to get quite a whole lot of money? So those were the pretty challenges which I was facing, amidst many other things starting out.
All right, that's actually pretty. You said getting clients, pricing, and positioning, which are very big factors. But just before we get into, because I'm going to ask you a little bit more about pricing. A lot of people
Okay.
struggle with having a skill or their clients, or they're too scared to sometimes to give a price that is befitting of what they are willing to offer. And I
Mm.
want to ask you, how are you able to navigate pricing as a person, especially as you just started out? What was your determinant for saying this is how much my skills, or this is the value of my skills, and this is how much I'm going to sell my clients? And how do you present your price to your clients in a way that they fully understand the value that they are getting from you?
Okay, I think these are subset questions A, B, and C. Okay, let me start by saying that pricing is
Yeah,
a
it
whole
has
lot
a
of
lot.
it's a whole lot of learning space that you need to, as somebody in this space, to understand. If you're a freelancer, cool. If you're working in an organization, fine. You need to understand pricing very well. In fact, it's worth taking a course on. Part of that is to learn from people who are in the field, and those are the people that really helped me. Was mentioned to mention a few: Christo and Dan Locke. These two figures did wonderful things, and you could also learn from Sabri Subi. He wrote a book, Sell It Like Crazy. I read the book. So blessing page to page. Now, in regards to pricing, there are quite a whole lot of ways in which you could go about pricing, such that you could charge very high, at least something considerable, good for you as a start, or someone in the middle space. I could categorize myself as someone in the middle to the top levels, because I've seen quite a lot of persons saying that they're charging just per hour about $300 per hour. I mean, that could be ridiculous if you multiply the figures by numbers of days in a week down to the month. So, but then for someone in my space, at least I could say that I've really left the few numbers to a little middle stage. And how am I able to do that? Like I said at first, I had to learn from these mentors in the field. And one of the things that they preached was in terms of understanding price anchoring. Price anchoring talks about putting price to range. Now, I don't figuratively put certain amounts to my service. What do I mean? Let me take for instance, you're into website design just like I do. I will tell you that usually I design website from the range of $100 to about $5,000. Sorry, I don't know if I should speak in context of Nigerian currency, but that's my little currency lingo. Let me put the Nigerian figure there. So let's say about I charge about 100,000 naira to about 2 million naira. Now, that could make somebody okay. Well, let me talk about what I have to say first because 100,000 is seemingly looking affordable for me, and 2 million naira can seemingly look so bogus for me. But then let me still speak. But then if I just come out, okay, website is costing 2 million naira, you will almost run away for any kind of typical organization or even individuals that you want to work with. They will literally want to walk away. So I put price anchoring in terms of range. Okay, it's this to this. Then, okay, what do you mean by that? They ask me, okay, what do you mean? Then I ask them, what do you want to do? By asking, I get to know much more about what they want to do. By asking, I get to know how well I can trust them. By asking those questions and again giving response, I better know which level does this organization actually fall into or this individual fall into. Because there are people that can actually pay you uh, thousands of dollars. In fact, I heard some I mean, some big narrative recently about organizations who are ready to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars in a month. I mean, that was the crazy news I heard recently. I was actually tingled my hair. Victor, you need to really learn more. After getting to understand them, I know that okay, well, this guy could not really pay so much, so I still find a figure that is much more considerable for me and considerable for them. So I can speak on $1,000 or in naira figure. Can we look about 500,000 naira? Okay, I see that this person is a big fish in the market. I go for the other high price. And the whole study will have been done on the background even before the call. There's a particular company in which I wanted to work with, digital surgeon, United States. I had to take time to research the company. I researched who I'm going to meet with. I searched on the website. I saw who the brand website designer really is. I searched who is going to be in charge of marketing and all of that. So I learned about them. So when I came on the call, I was very, very friendly. Hey, how you doing? What's up? Ah, you didn't come with your hat today. She said she loves to wear hats. That was the story she put in her narrative at the back end of the website. So I said, you're not on your website. I said, what do you mean? Yeah, I saw that you are really very interested. I mean, you really love wearing hats and these kind of games. Oh, yes. And that was how the whole thing started with fun. So they really love the way I engaged them over the call. They really love the way I explained the in betweens of what I want to do for them. And at the end of the day, I got the job, I got the project. So background research, price anchoring, those are the things that puts you on the safer side. And one other thing that I want to talk about very quickly is a kind of pricing strategy that you put your services into package if you can. If you can. Like I can say that usually for a page, this is what I charge. For this numbers of pages, this is what I charge. For those that does writing, these numbers of word these numbers of word I charge for this price, these numbers of word I charge for this price. If you want me to implement this kind of strategy, this kind so those are the various ways. You can put it in packages, you can put it in subscription plans that won't really seem so terrible. I mean, I can tell you that okay, for SEO that I want to be doing for you, can I go on subscription basis? Graphics that I want to do for you, can I go on subscription basis? Every month you're paying me 200,000. Every month you're paying me 300,000. If I'm doing dollars, $500,000, $500 rather. So there are several ways in which you can put your figures. So usually I come to them, I table all the pricing strategy such that they can be able to select which one is very much convenient for them. Of course, at the back end, I know that this A or B is the best for me. So those are the things you can really work around that really help you.
All right, thank you. Just to, you called like two names earlier when you started out and a book. Can you
Okay.
just quickly tell us the names of the people you referenced and the book you said you read that really helped you? Just so that people don't miss that out.
Okay. Yeah. Sabrisubi, sell it like crazy. Sabrisubi, sell it like crazy. His name is Sabrisubi. He wrote the book Sell It Like Crazy. That's
Oh,
really helped me
okay.
to understand how people think. How people really that taught me that anything you're buying, people buy because of emotions. People buy because of ego. The reason why people buy iPhone is because they want to feel much more pompous than the other person. feel like the real person. So there are a lot of emotions that relates to digital marketing as a whole, as a service, and there's a whole lot of things that relates to how you charge people. You need to really touch their emotions, commitment, a lot of micro commitment. Those things I really learned a full scale in that book. I mentioned Christo. Christo is a very great guy. He's a graphic designer actually, but I learned a whole lot regarding marketing and design from him. Pricing, a whole lot. Dan Locke is one of the father of marketing. I really respect him a lot. So those are the people that I picked as figure amidst many other persons that they're really having an exciting content to really help everyone with. Are you there? Okay, I think we kind of lost her. So let me just talk a bit while waiting for her to come in. Okay, she's back.
Okay, yeah. So I think our network is really bad now. So I think you can just go on with the pricing, and I think someone asked a
Okay,
question
okay.
saying like what are there any platforms that can use to meet clients?
Yeah, of course. For me, starting out, I hooked up with freelancing platform, and of course, till date, I still make use of freelancing platforms. The major ones that I got myself involved with is Fiverr and Upwork. And I started with Fiverr full scale, but when Fiverr started showing me some level of this discouragement, blocking of accounts, unfavorable pricing, and all of that, I had to just switch over to Upwork because Upwork seems much more professional. I mean, it's easily you could just work with people. If you have issues with them, there's a way you could resolve the issues. I mean, if you're not convenient with the buyer or with the product or service, there's a way everything can just go on so smoothly without issues. So I made use of Fiverr and Upwork as those major platforms. And I know that people could over time have had challenges ranking on these platforms. So those are big I mean learning on its own how to best position yourself on this freelancing platform such that you could get jobs. I mean, I was on the verge of becoming a top rated seller before I left Fiverr, and also on Upwork, and also on the verge of becoming top rated seller. And majorly now, I'm much more having clients on the outside basis. Some that I've worked with before, and some that are just what's it called, that are on the Upwork platform that I get to also work with. So yeah, that's kind of motions. Let me talk a brief about it before she pops up in. Working on Fiverr, you need to really understand how you need to charge, how to convert, because now people are wanting to make decisions to either choose you or other hundreds of people in which they have messaged. So how do you want to navigate yourself? So that comes across the messaging you put in your profile, how you best put your profile to really stand out, the way you put your packages, like your price tags, the way you position yourself. Like on Upwork now, there's a video presentation you could actually pull up, testimonials and the reviews. That's another thing. For me, I had to start up driving myself into that space all by myself. But over time, I had to get a quick reach system in that platform by popping up for reviews. Why? Because I understand the quality of service in which I'm already rendering. So it could just be easy to tell, okay, based on this, I could give this kind of feedbacks. So I give myself feedbacks and all of that. So that's positioned me to feel like this guy is truly experienced. Of course, I am. So freelance platform were the things that I started with, Fiverr and Upwork to be specific. And I also advise people to also jump on Upwork because it's very professional. There are no issues of earning today and you're just going down tomorrow. So those are the things that I feel. Those are the two platforms that you can really dive much more into. Okay, I think you asking me to talk about pricing as well. Let me check comments from online. Um, it, Regarding pricing, I learned something from Dan Lok that's about psychology of pricing. I learned that for you to also be able to scale, you can put your prices in three forms. What do I mean by three forms? The low package, which is very small, the middle package where you really want people to buy that exact package you want them to buy, and the other one which is seemingly looking very outrageous. Now, what is the psychology behind that? Now, the small contains the things that is lower than the things that they actually want. That's a small package. The middle package is what you want to offer them, which considerably contains what they will likely want to go for. It looks seemingly exactly the price you want to offer. The other is the big package, which is very, very bogus. They don't want to. There are some things you want to do in that service that they don't need. I don't know if you're getting my point. This you can apply to every service you're offering in this digital marketing space. And even for those that are outside digital marketing space, you could apply that to your business or to your service. Now, this is it. By the time you're able to put these three packages, emotionally you are putting people to think about these three pricing packages for you. Basic, let me put that basic, standard, and premium. Let me create those analogy. Now, you are driving their emotions to away from thinking, should I should I request for this person's service amidst many other persons that I have on my list to contact? You are driving their attention from that status quo to which of the price should I go for. Why do I say that? People always make decision whenever they come to you? They're trying to make decision. They're trying to think, okay, should I go for him? Is his price okay? Is it not okay? That kind of stuff. But now you are tilting their attention down to which of the price really suits me. Down. By that, you have granted them access to you fully. They are thinking much more of how you could help them. They are thinking much more on how or which service or which package could really. And you know that worst case scenario, either they go for the basic, they usually go for the standard, or the premium. Either of the three, you've really lynched down those decision making. So that's few that I could mention regarding pricing. And one other thing that I think could really help, that let me pop that. I think that could be in the area of let me see, yeah, in the area of, I put into the word upselling. Now, I can decide to charge very small because I have a goal at the end of the day. I can decide to charge a basic package at a very low cost. Why am I doing that? You will ask for my other services. If you don't ask for my other services, I tell you about my other services. Okay, let's take for instance, you want me to design a graphic picture for you. I do that for you at a very small price. You already believe me. You already know what I want. You already believe in my professionalism. So I could easily tell you that what if you do this? What if you do that? It's called upselling. By that, I'm charging. I have somebody that's charged about $50 for the first product in which he sold, service. Then he upscaled it to about $500 for the next service. After they are done, he said, what if you do an online course? Your service is quite okay. We could put this course online. People could buy your course. You make much more money. You charge $2,000. Can you see how the progression is going? So you see yourself moving from a low cost in which you wanted to offer because you know that this person can run away to charging high. So is that kind of system whereby you could also pull yourself into that high pricing from a single particular client in which you already have. So let me stop there. I was waiting for you to come in.
Right. Thank you very much. I'm so sorry.
You're welcome.
The my network started acting up.
Yeah,
But
you're in Nigeria.
just on the last thing you said, is it safe to do the start from a lower rate, or are you trying to say if the lower rate is good, then start there and work your way up?
Okay, I spoke to things. For a starter, for somebody who's just entering into this space, I will advise that you can reduce your price. Why are you doing that? To get quite a lot of feedbacks. As much as possible, I also detest against that. Why? Because I have this philosophy that low charging buyers gives you more problems. I don't know if you have that kind of experience. You can drop your comments. People that charge, I mean, that are wanting to pay you a low amount of money, they will give you the most of the old problems. I mean, I've had to work with a buyer right now who's in the United States, in Nigerian. Uh, I had to condescend to his price because of feedback, quote and unquote. We've been on this project for since maybe ending of May, thereabouts. Ending of May till now, we're still working together. Why? Oh, go back, do this, go back, do that. Picky things. In fact, you could have people that will almost be bringing colors, palette together, bringing ruler to check your screen, and all of that. So that comes to you working with low charging buyer. So I detest that on a greater scale. Except if you want to position yourself to really make the person understand that this thing is actually worth this price. But then, because I really want you to trust me and I really want you to work with you, I tell them, it might not even be because of trust, because I just want to work with you. I really want to, I believe that we could really work together on a long term basis. That's why I'm doing that for you. I mean, I have this philosophy as well that let both of you meet at the central point. Don't ever leave, don't ever stay at your point. I mean, in the sense that you're saying $5,000 or you're saying 2 million naira or 1 million naira for your service, and you want to stay, the people will run away. And don't let them also stay at their point whereby they are saying, I can, what I have in budget is just 100K or 50K. Whereas you know that on a normal rate, you could charge $500,000, 500,000 naira for that same project. I tell them that, okay, can we both walk the same distance? Okay, I will leave where I am in terms of 2 million naira or 1 million or 500K. I'm moving to about 300K. And then you won't stay at that same spot of 50K. Can we reach at this point? I will never go to meet them at that spot. Why? Because there is a feeling that they create that this person is looking for a job. This person is hunting for it. If I don't buy from him, you will feel neglected. And that's what should cause the fact that you're working on a project and they are not giving you rest. There's someone that just let me talk about that in Jiffy that I want to work with, and then he was saying I have somebody to contact. I told the person straight blank that yeah, you could actually go and meet those other persons you really want. I know what I serve. These are the things in which I want to do for you. That's why, as a digital marketer, you must understand the value of what you are doing, and that helps you to charge. That I was about saying earlier on. The understanding of your service, the value of what you do, will help you to really charge high. So when I talk now, I don't talk like I just need people to just come and do websites or I just need to come and do social media campaign. I talk on value. What am I going to do for you? If you work with me, these are the possible solutions you will have. In terms of money, I don't put a specific figure. That's very, very important because you are shooting yourself by putting yourself in that same box. Because when the person you say, hey, by next 2 months, you're going to be having 1 million naira, he's not having 100K or 200K, you'll be like, you've duped me. So don't box yourself in a particular figure. But I can help you to make up to. That's what some promoters do. They will tell you they can make up to, or they tell you that you can win up to 1 million naira. Whereas by the time you open the discount code or whatever, you just with 100 naira there. Well, they've not lied. They just told they can always make up to. So now I preach to them my value. When I tell them that they need a website service, I already understand. That's I will advise everybody in this space to do. Can you write 20 things that are like benefits of what you do? Now, box yourself. I told somebody, and this person had a dramatic change in that business because, like I said, I'm just transitioning to work with local, medium, and small scale businesses to start up with locally beyond the freelance work that I do. I told her, as a what's it called? She's into events planning and ushering. So I told her, what is your advantage to an event as an event usher management? What do you do? List 20 things that you're doing. So at any point in time in discussion with your buyer, you could know that this is the pain point that this person is looking for, and you can put your solution to her as a value. So if you ask me, I have 20 things that my website can do for you. It can help you increase engagement, can help you create sales. I mean, there are a whole lot of tons of things I could speak on regarding websites. The things I also do that any other person will not do. So those are the things that I talk in the form of my strategic section, which I do say that helps me to just pitch and up my price. And at the end of the day, the person feels like, wow, I can't do without this person, or this person will give me much more things than every other person who is giving me a lower price will. So that puts you on much more better advantage.
All right. Thank you very much. That was
Yeah.
Very insightful. I have two questions from the comments from the chat
Okay.
box, and I will start with Kemi Sola's question. She says, how do we start digital marketing as a beginner with little or no idea on digital marketing? And then TikTok trends, very popular person here that does not want to tell us who she is or he is, says, are there digital marketing communities for digital marketers? Specific
Okay.
communities for digital marketers you're aware of? So those are our
All right.
questions for now.
Um, for those starting out and as well communities. Okay. For those that are just starting out, I would recommend that you do a full study. I've had to talk with some of the newbies in the space or who wanted to jump into the space recently. And what I tell them is that digital marketing space is a wide niche on its own. You could see search engine marketing, SEM, you could see SEO, search engine optimization as a niche. You could see writing. For those who are into writing space, you could have SEO writing, content marketing. That's another part that relates to writing. You could see website development and design. You could see social media management or social media marketing as a whole, which you could see several niches under it. What are they? Social media manager. There are a lot of people who are looking for people to manage their community on LinkedIn, on Twitter, on Telegram, on Discord. That's a manager role on its own. Because social media campaign, like promotion, those that want to promote their businesses locally or outside the country. So you need to first sit down to study where really befits me, what really triggers me on. For me, what triggers me to digital marketing space entirely was the money. I was doing writing, I was being paid $10, $5, really. And I have a friend who is into website design. And then he charged about $400. That was the money I made in a whole month and a half. So I was like, what's the meaning of this? This person did the work for a week and he got this amount of money. And then starting out, I will write CV $5, another CV $10, and all of that. Overtime, stress, no sleepless night. I was like, I think I need to really change what I'm doing. Quote and unquote. Of course, I still write till date. I still write CV. I do all those writings, maybe, but I don't sit down to write. I have a team of persons that does that for me. But it was money that really fascinated me into that space. If money is fascinating you into the space of digital marketing, I tell you, you could look into, if you're into writing space, you could look into crypto writing. If you're looking into there's some white paper writing, another aspect of it too. So you could see several spaces. If it's money, if it's passion, some likes to talk and manage. You could see a space in management field, like I explained, social media management, those that are into Discord managers and all of that, facilitators. That's also a money niche. I have people who are making thousands of dollars in that space. So it's a big niche. You need to know where do you actually want to belong. That's the first thing you need to do. And second thing you need to do is that you can take up courses. There are fields like Udemy, LinkedIn Learning, YouTube. YouTube was one of the grounding space that I actually used to learn in that my platform. I I picked a tool in that website design space and I exhausted the courses over there, the models, the videos that are there before I started getting jobs. And the funniest thing was that I was even doing some things for free for people, and I've never gotten a job, a dime from that particular platform. Why? It's called Start the Webflow. So I majorly use Webflow from one of the major tools that I work with. I wasn't making money from there, but I was helping people out with their projects. I was doing that. I was using that to learn over time, over to the time whereby I could get my first job there. So, that's one of the things. Volunteering. You could volunteer. You could intern with organizations who are already there. Like I made mention of, that's another space you could find yourself that could help your learning to be fast forward. Why? Because sometimes you might not be good at accountability. Some of us really need somebody to jack us up to tell us, okay, today do this, do that before you could. So you need to understand yourself. So there's some persons that they could learn themselves. For someone like me, I just could tell myself, okay, within a month I want to learn this, and I give myself that span of time. Every day I'm dedicating these numbers of hours to watching videos online, to what's it called, to enrolling in the course and learning. So there are different ways in which you could get yourself into this space. One thing is social, that the hair is very big, that it can accommodate as many beds as possible. Since 2020 till now, for those that I know a lot of Nigerians because I belong to a kind of little community that is associated with freelancers. Over time, we've had more than 10,000 people in the same space that I know of. That's the little figure I can put to it. is so big as that. So digital marketing is so wide. I don't feel like it's going to be exhaustive. Get yourself into that space and develop yourself. Now, what kind of community? I got to know a particular person called Omalaja. I will try and share the link maybe after the training. We could get that on the comment section. He really helped me a lot, honestly speaking. So I joined this Telegram group whereby I just sat down. I looked at how can you reach out to clients. So that's also helped me one way in pricing. His name is called Sulaiman. You can check him out on LinkedIn. I'll share the link across afterwards. So I joined the group. It's called 0 to 5K on LinkedIn. I mean on Telegram. I saw a lot of things, a lot of content that really help on how to converse with clients. What you say when they say A, what you say when they say B. They say they don't like what you're doing. What can you tell them? They say I'll get back to you. What will you tell them? So a whole lot of things I learned. I learned about courses too. I learned some courses that are given all for free in those space. So that's you need to get yourself involved. I will give it. I will pass the link across so that everybody could learn from it. So it's a wonderful and exciting community in which everybody can long to join, especially if you're in the freelance space.
All right, thank you. We will
You're welcome.
get that link. It's going to be very helpful to a lot of people. I want to ask a little bit about positioning.
Okay.
It's you don't get positioning and visibility, yes, and visibility. And for somebody that is starting out, especially since you've passed that level, when you were starting out, what were the things that you did as a person to become visible to the audience that you wanted to know you, right? And how did you best position yourself for that audience to be able to know about you and know that you even offer these services to start with?
Okay. Speaking on positioning, um, one thing I want to first advise is everybody should do something called market research versus niching down. Let me start with market research. Market research means you're trying to understand who you are to work with. I mean, who are your audience? Like for instance, when I was starting, I knew that I'm going to get involved into the freelance space whereby most of my buyers, I mean, that will buy my service, that's not my buyers, or my customers or my clients are not from this country. And so I'm not wasting most of my time posting on WhatsApp because people that I have are in Nigeria. People that I have I'm not sure I've worked with a local Nigerian person. I'm not sure because they can't really afford what I have as my figure of price. And so I knew that the best platform that I could start with are this freelancing platform to get myself involved with this space of people that I'm looking for. So understanding your market is very, very important. If you want to work with small and medium scales that are in the country, you need to know that you need to find yourself in seminars, in events to network and tell people what you do. Networking is one thing that you can't really avoid as a digital marketer or somebody in this digital skills space. You need to find yourself in those events. There are a lot of events that you could get yourself involved with. You could meet one or two persons that will surely talk about you to someone. So those event space will really help. Number one. Then if you know that you're in this space, which is all about something that you're not seeing, you need to brand yourself. And part of branding is what you're seeing right now. Now, of course, I don't have clients that are seeing me physically, but I know that I will have to do Zoom calls with people that are outside the country. And so when they look at me, they're not looking at me as somebody so cheap. I have a face cap. I have varieties of this kind of shirts that I put on when I'm on Zoom call with some of my buyers and all of that. So I put those brands on. The way I talk, it's very much on the Franca lingua in which they also speak. So they know that this person is not just a low class person. The way I talk like somebody who has teams or people that work, which is actually true as at that time. But starting out, I don't have people. Of course, I have friends and colleagues in which when I have problem, I can go and meet with them. So I can tell you that I have team of about 100 because in the real fact, I have a community of friends in which when I need help, I can reach out to them for help. Sometimes they support me in my project. So those are the ways you could speak and pitch yourself to look like where you're going if you're not there yet. So I got myself involved in the freelancing platforms, which I know that could really give me access to these people. Over time, I find myself working with one or two that could refer me to this other person. So you can see that I started moving outside that same space. And that's why you need to really offer quality service because if you don't do a good job, nobody will refer you. And that's honestly the truth. Like this month now, I mean, this okay, last month thereabout, I've had just a particular client refer me to two persons that paid their project in dollars, one Indian and the other also Indian in the United States of America, a company. So you could imagine that that could be your trajectory. In fact, it was a long range of referral. I worked with the first person on Upwork. The person referred me to another person. The person referred me to other person. The person referred me to two other persons that I'm working with right now. So you can see that over time, you could barely have a month that you not have a single client to work with. But you will need to start with somewhere. A freelancing platform will not do, social media will do. That's why all over your social media handles, optimize them professionally. Nothing will stop you to go and meet a friend that is doing photography. Hello, bro. Can you take a good picture for me? It might not cost more than 2,000 naira. I have a serial of pictures that I have in that same vein, put on across all my platforms. So, and the way I optimize a portfolio is such that I put my lingo, I put the things that are actually directing myself to the exact niche that I work with. So they know that this person is actually a good person that is best for this project. So optimize all of your profile. But then I advise that just pick two that you want to work with to be pushing your energy into. So now and then be publishing contents that will really put yourself out there. You've talked about 20 things that are benefit of what you do. That means you could almost have like 20 weeks content already published. Benefits one, you want to talk about it. Conversion. How do you need to convert more? How do you grow your business? Advantage of SEO. Do you understand SEO? You put graphic design pictures, put content, it can be just mere text, it can just be a visual video too, presentation or benefit. Hashtagging those that are already running on those fields, tagging some of your colleagues or friends or those people that you think could really be associated with this niche of people you're looking for. So that's how you, over time, it's not a one-way approach whereby you see that result you're looking for as quick as possible. But just push yourself out there. Dedicate a day in the whole week whereby you're just using to just promote your content. I mean, 5 hours every Monday and Saturdays. That's what I do. Monday and Saturday. I know that Monday is the starting of the work for everybody. Saturday is a resting time whereby people are engaging their social media. So I pick those 2 days as the time whereby I could release my content. So that's a space you could see yourself. And over time, you are seeing yourself building brands. I have someone that just messaged me randomly from Facebook. That's what led my passion into Facebook for promotion now. Why? Because it's really helped me. That's the best platform, social media platform that really works for me. What happened? The person just messaged me. I've optimized their profile. Remember, oh, I need this service. And that was how I sealed a $600 order at that period of time. I mean, more than close to 2 years ago now. So that's how best you could begin to feel yourself, optimize your profile. If you could get yourself into freelancing platform, do that. So all of those things will really help you to best position yourself starting out in this digital marketing space.
Something that stood out to me from what you said is being able to understand the people that or the clientele that you want to service and
Exactly.
working in line with, creating your personal brand around that clientele. Because we're in a social media world and everybody wants to be good on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Facebook, all the works, but you
You
can't
you
you
kill
can't do
yourself
everything at the same
at
you can't
all.
do everything at the same time. So yes, I really resonate with what you said about choosing the platform you want and pushing it well. Does not mean that you should neglect the rest, but
No,
you should. That really resonated with me. So thank you very much for that. One
you're welcome.
question I'd like to ask you is uh how do I put this? An error that you think or a common mistake that you've seen or that you're aware of when people are trying to monetize their skills, not just in the digital marketing space as a whole. What is one common error that you find that people make that you you can be able to point out to us today?
Okay, one notable one that I could mention is the major error of overpromising. Now, you at your level, you understand what you can serve. Don't overpromise. You're a social media campaign manager or you're a Facebook ads manager. Don't say that you will help a business get maybe for Nigerian buyer, I mean, turn from a 10,000 naira returning ROI in a month to a million naira. I've had people in the freelancing space have to request for chargebacks because somebody asked them to promote. I mean, a buyer asked them to promote their business, and then at the end of the day, nobody messaged. I mean, you were not really getting the sales that was promised. So overpromising is a big challenge. You need to really escape. Don't overpromise. Like I said earlier, you can put yourself in a range anchoring for results that they could really expect. But you need to also know that's the second point that whatever you're doing, you're just a fragment in a whole process. Except if you're taking a project as a digital marketing manager, that's a big niche, that's a big fish for you. That means you really need to be paid so highly for that. What do I mean? You are managing the whole process of the traffic source. That's maybe like the YouTube, Facebook, social media management, and all of that. You're also managing the process for website design of the funnel. You're managing the process for copywriting and all of that. Except you are in that modder role. Don't ever overpromise. Why? Because you are just a fragment. What do I mean by that? Somebody who is just running or designing a website does not have so much in regards to sales. It's just 10% of what contributes to the results you're expecting or the ROI. What do I mean? If the messaging is bad by the social media campaign manager who you don't know because somebody just came to you and tell you that I just want a funnel for my business. I want to run sales funnel or maybe membership. I want to have people to come on my course and all of that. You really don't have much to say about how the traffic is coming. So maybe about just 3 or 4 persons is jumping on that same website. How do you expect sales from 3 persons in a day? So the person who is doing social media management really holds a lot. And you can't even still blame social media manager because there's a copywriter who is what's giving him or her the content that's writing. So if the copywriter dished a bad message that does not really appeal to the audience, you won't see people even coming on your campaign, rather clicking on your link that will bring you to the website. So digital marketing space is a whole long chain that you don't ever want to overpromise because that has really cost me a lot of money starting out, having to promise. So now I'm a little bit much more wiser regarding how I push up the results that people should really expect and how I really charge. So I think that's one of the things that I could really pinpoint right now.
That is that is a big deal, really. It is over promising. I will remember
And,
that.
and one thing I want to
Okay.
also add, niching down. That's one of the things that I could also add. People want to serve everybody. Of course, like Chris Do said, that starting out in a niche, you need to have a lot of yes and few no's, meaning almost anything you could. Starting out in that space, I had to, email marketing, this, that. Why? I was in that to gather experience. But beyond that, over time, I learned that having a niche of people you serve will really help you to charge high. And that's honestly the case. People think that having to work with different kinds of people in terms of your audience or people you serve, you could really pick a niche out of the whole workforce, the whole services out there. Now, I focus much more on fitness coach, nutrition versus B2B. Those are the three servicing audience that I actually work with. Now, in some of my projects in recent time have been to B2B and SaaS projects. Now, every time I push forth my portfolio, they are seeing much of that content. So they know that this person is a big fish in this aspect. And so I could be able to charge more. And I tell you, if you charge, I have this philosophy which really helps. It's better for me to charge $2,000 for a particular project than to work with 20 people that will be giving me $100. Do you know why? Because there are a whole lot of headache to work with 20 people, honestly speaking, as a freelancer. You're having to reply message, hey, somebody saying I just read the new content, you could almost die. Sometimes you have sleepless night because you're working with people outside the country, you're working with somebody in Australia. Like I have to reply message to somebody in Australia, and then you have to Sorry. So I had to work with somebody who is so it's better for you to just pick a single buyer that you will work with that will pay you as much as you are expecting than work with several persons. So it's just like that. So niche down, reduce the numbers of people you are looking to get jobs from. Pick chiropractors, pick floriculturists, pick what's it called? Ayurvedic doctors. There are a lot of fitness coach, pick doctors, pick lawyers, attorneys, pick a whole lot of people that you can't just even expect, that there are a lot of services that you can't just even expect that really exist. So just pick a niche of them, serve this niche. It can look dicey, can in terms of earnings and you're starting out, those one person will always have a community of people that really they are within. Everybody has a community. Like we're talking about right now, there's a community for freelancer. Can you imagine that? So everybody has a community. So you do a good service for somebody, they will always refer you to A, B, or C. Like this person that I worked with was a SaaS project. Then he referred me to a SaaS, what's it called? A SaaS CEO. The other person referred me to a marketing manager. Can you see that space? So that is a kind of turning around you always get, and you see yourself making money over and over again. So don't just push yourself into that big ocean. Like my friend do say, in the big ocean, you could merely catch nothing because it's just wide. Through your nest there, you will barely catch nothing, or some animals that you're not even interested in. But you go into a river or a stream, you could visibly even see the animals you're looking for. So that's just how these things are. The lower you stimulate your niche, the more you can charge, the less stressful it becomes, and all of that. So those are the things that I fell into while starting out. But then over time, I had to understand that no, this won't work for me if I really want to go higher.
Right. That is so it's so nice because more than just niching down on the particular part of digital marketing that you want to be in, you also have to learn to niche down on the ski on the audience or the kind of
Exactly.
clients that you want to service. That's very important. My final question for you today will be that what is one skill that you think is relevant for someone in digital marketing or just generally who wants to be global, who wants to take their service to a global level? What is something that you think they should have or they should be able to provide? Like once I see you, I know, oh, this is this kind of person for somebody that wants to
Okay.
be a global digital marketer.
Okay. One of the things that if I think I don't know if I get your question very well, but first you need to move a little bit into adopting AI. I tell you that's where the world is going to right now. There are a lot of tools that are like AI tools, even for website design. Let's say for instance, there is a tool that is called Marketing Pro that typically subscribe to that platform. They could really give you everything you want for your marketing. The video, the email copies, the number of email copies to send, the social media designs, the banners. I mean, that was and simple. Just type your name, the name of your business, what you do, and all of that. Now that can be a disadvantage if you don't see it well, but that can be an advantage if you see it in the right direction. ChatGPT is a right tool if you could maximize the space. For me, that really has helped me in proposal writing on Upwork and even in response to some of my clients. I mean, I think of okay, I get the idea of what ChatGPT is saying. I push in my own value, I push in my own content, I revamp it over. So you need to understand the AI trends of your service. What are the AI tools that are now out for your service? What tool in specific? Learn how to make use of that tool because it will really, really help you to really gain a whole lot of ground. In what way? I know that currently now the copywriting, I mean, writing generally is really scaling down. But what if you could think of how to make use of this AI tool in a different way in which audience don't actually know about? That's a space for you. That's where you can eat from. So you need to look into the future and devise strategies whereby you can tap into the future in the now. I got into this space. Webflow is one of the tools in my space that is really, really gaining ground. Let me mention the two. Why? Because of the flexibility. Over time, people are just you have skimpy designs, responsiveness is bad, sales is low because people don't get to see visual appealing designs. I saw a tool that people don't even know how to use, quote and unquote, people are running away from. But then I saw the future in the fact that people will one day want to love flexibility. I mean, I've had to work with people that they will want bed to fly in into their website and go out in terms of animation. I don't know if you come across those kind of designs before. You could barely see diverse kind of thing. And you'll be like, how do I do this? So diving into those places where the world is going is should be one of your best interests. So research the tool, especially AI tools that can help you or that you could utilize. So these are the things in which you could do to keep your relevance and your sustainability in this market space you're talking about.
Thank you so much. I know I said last question, but we have a question in the chat box from someone called
Okay.
Crown Star, who is asking that please, as a front end developer going into Upwork, what advice do
Okay.
you have for me?
Okay. Front end developer going into Upwork. Now, in the space, freelancing space, of Upwork, there are lots of sellers out there that are doing the same thing. Number one advice is that don't start too high. Your worth can actually be because maybe you've been serving already local clients and you're really good at what you're doing. Go solo. That's one of the disadvantage of going into freelancing space. You don't really have too much privilege starting out with what you want, but you need what they want to offer you to start to get to where you want to be. So start with a low price, but of course, not so low. Don't forget the story I told you earlier. Low charging buyers stress you so more. Start with a low price. Work much more with hourly pricing. If it's $15 per hour, you could do $15 per hour. You could do start that way. Over time, you can increase your price. Number two thing is that your profile, how Upwork works is such that they work based on algorithms. So you really need to understand the keywords that are in website development, front-end website development space that buyers are searching. You can see that search engine is coming here. Most of this platform, Fiverr or Upwork, works very closely with Google searching keywords. I mean, you could go online. There are keyword tools like keywordtool.io, keywords.io too as well. That's another website link you could search out for. Just search your service. They will bring the likely keywords that people are looking for. The questions that people are searching. Some are searching how Salesforce CRM is better than Zoho CRM. So you could really see competitive tools that you can even get yourself involved with. So you need to really search what is the best keyword that people are looking out for. And in that front end development you're talking about, there there are softwares that are not so much uh, popular. Let me in terms of which people are serving in, but they are like small niche that people are still looking for. I'm balancing that. What do I mean? People, let's take for instance now, I don't know much about front end dev much more, but let's say Nest.js. I can say that front end developer using Nest.js and I think there's one called X. Now, those two are the major ones that I want to. So I'm not saying front end with Nest.js, native JavaScript. This you are going to buzz that keyword platform. So just pick two major keywords that you could use or two major tools that you could use. For instance, on my own profile, what I use is that I said a website designer versus online course creator on Kajabi and Go Eye Level. This is a Go Eye Level logo, eye level. Now, those are the two platforms I'm using. So I'm not appealing, like I said, niching down. I'm not appealing to people in WordPress. I can design on WordPress very well. I can design on Kajabi. I mean, I can design on Wix, on almost major platforms that you could see, Squarespace. But I'm not going into those. I'm just picking two major ones. So in my messaging profile description, I push keywords repeatedly in that same line. And so over time, when people search, they know that this person is a specialist in this particular field. So your title is very important. Your testimonial is very important. Request for testimonial on LinkedIn, several platforms. So I have testimonials from LinkedIn. Video introduction to is there. Put in a video introduction about you. Let people see. People really want to see who they are discussing with. They really want to see who they want to work with. Your picture is very, very important. I see a lot of people personalizing themselves. I mean, impersonation rather. They put a lady's picture in place of their own picture. When the buyer come to have a Zoom section with you, then he now sees a guy having a lot of beers. He will be scared. He feel like, who is this person? So don't try to impersonate as much as you can. Put in what you can do. Ensure you have the right keywords. Put in your testimonials. I mean, on Upwork, you can put in a lot of projects you have done. Put in as much as possible 50 portfolios I recommend if you can, because somebody who sees somebody who have worked on 50 projects will know that this person is what is a guru. So instead of wasting your time sitting down just looking for job, just waiting for job to come, go out there, continue to publish your work, put your work there, and then bring it over. Then people will surely message you one day, invite you. So that's a lot of things for you to learn in that space entirely. But at least those two few things I said really help you a lot.
All right. Thank you very much, Victor. We've come to the end of
You're
our
welcome.
session today. Just want to thank you so much for everything that you've said and told us so far. So far, I really hope that a lot of people that have been listening to us and people that will still listen will be able to implement your few tips and tricks and can come back with very, very wonderful testimonies. Once again,
Sure. And
this
let me
is
say,
Victor Ido. Okay.
yeah, and let me say something as a kind of end note. You need to understand your 1 minute speech. Everybody, you can write that down. That has really helped me. I can tell you what my 1 minute speech is like. So, what's my 1 minute speech? If you check all my social media profiles, that's what I use. Who am I? I am a website designer with these numbers of years of experience. What problem do I solve? That's number two question you need to answer in that your 1 minute speech. I mean, you're thinking about, okay, I try to help people to have much more conversion and engagement using what website design. That's number two question. What problem do you solve? You solve problem of what? Low sales. Number three question, who do you serve? I work with B2Bs, I work with SaaS companies, I work with nutritionists. You understand my point now? If you could streamline to one, good. Number four, you need to ask yourself, what tool do you use? In specific, like I said, you're not thinking of 20 tools you're writing there. One or two is okay. I use Webflow and Kajabi to design websites. What methodology do you use that's different from others? So I talk about methodology. I talk about the fact that I use SEO keywords to rank your website. I talk about CRO programs. Everybody, you can get yourself enrolled in this course, CRO program. You can look for it on Udemy. It's called conversion rate optimization. If you're in digital marketing space, that's my own selling point personally. I tell you that I carry out CRO program, and what that really means is that you're trying to see accessibility, how people can really, uh, people who are disabled can access your website. I mean, meaning that not just you're reaching out to people who are okay, you're looking to access people who are also disabled. So CRO program is a very important course you could get yourself enrolled with that can help you in shaping your conversion. I mean, that will really help you a lot. So answer all of this question. That will really help you in optimizing. So I use this same technique in optimizing my Upwork, my Fiverr, my social media handles. I just answered those questions in those profile, and those really, really, really help me. So thank you. Those are the things I think I must not miss out on this seminar.
Thank you very, very, very much. Once again, everybody, this is Ido Victor, and just tell him how grateful you are to have him here. We are so happy to have you. Thank you so much for coming
Pleasure.
on our session
Pleasure.
today. We are our community. You can find our links to our social media, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, in chat box. Don't forget to follow us. Follow Victor on Victor. Would you like people to find you on LinkedIn, Instagram?
Yeah, on LinkedIn, my name is Victor Edo.
Okay.
I can share my
All
link
right.
also afterwards. Yeah,
Okay. Thank you all so very much. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Have
you.
a lovely evening. Good night,
Thank you. Thank
Victor.
you so much for really having me so as well. Thank you so much. Thank you.
It's a
Ciao.
pleasure.
Okay.
Ciao.